Mr. Chairman, I remember when I took over as steward of the Department of Internal Affairs, I called the IGP and I told him that under no circumstances, should a Ugandan be executed or killed when he is in handcuffs or unarmed. I regret what you said, that Ugandans were gunned down on mere suspicion. This is contrary to my policy directive, and I've called for a report of the incident. And those responsible will be held to account in accordance with the laws of Uganda. Secondly, it's unfortunate that the police should interfere with the activities of a member of parliament duly elected. That's not the job of the police. Stopping a member of parliament from addressing his or her constituents is the job of the constituents who elected him or her in the first place. A member of parliament does not have to ask for permission to carry out his or her activities in their jurisdiction. So, at a certain stage, I will ask the Inspector General of Police to explain what happened. This is contrary to our directives, both the President and myself. We don't condone this. We want to rate it. I thank you.
Mr. Chairman, recently on Monday, the country woke to a shock where 6 suspected Ugandans were gunned down under unclear circumstances. That they intended to carry out theft or robbery at Stanbic Bank, Kololo, Acacia, but to our surprise, these were gunned down at Total, and some fell far down Mawanda Road, Mr. Chairman. And there were 6 in number, 6 Ugandans, Mr. Chairman. And what evidence did they find on them? 2 rusty pangas and pepper spray. And 6 lives of Ugandans were put out of action. So, Mr. Chairman, since we have those in the docket, since when has the life of Ugandans been treated casually like that? How do you conduct an operation, Mr. Chairman? They said they traced them from the CCTV cameras and informers, and they chanced on them. Mr. Chairman, they are police officers. They know that it's not enough to punish the intention, the mens rea. There must have been an actus reus, an act. Someone has been caught red-handed. I doubt, Mr. Chairman, whether nowadays it's supposed to untenable for machete-wielding people to attack a bank, and yet there is a police post just in the vicinity, Mr. Chairman. To date, as per yesterday, Mr. Chairman, only 2 bodies had remained unknown, unidentified, and were in the mortuary. 2 bodies. If you knew the suspects, you must have had their particulars. You must have known that this is so and so, a notorious robber. We've been trading him. He's here. We got him. But even those who killed him don't know the people they killed. Can you imagine? I'll take the information.
I'm Betty Numbers, the Shadow Minister for Internal Affairs.
And a member.
and a member of this committee representing Mukono municipality. Mr. Chairman, the information I want to give is that one of the videos in the social media shows an officer telling the suspect to lie down, and the suspect complying, calling out, "Look at me," and the suspect complying, and then firing at the suspect in a fatal way. I was on TV. I was one Romoshana on NBS, and he came out properly and said that him having been in the security organizations for some time, this was an execution, because we have always known that police at most will fire to disable a suspect, so that you can, if the suspect is running away, you fire at him or her to disable that person. But if you are killing a person who is lying down on your orders, Mr. Chairman, and the information I want to give, is that really sorting out suspects or execution of people?
Okay, please.
Who snatch phones, who probably here and there will lay people, did they deserve that in a civilized country like Uganda, where we all stand to defend the people, the lives of those who can't speak for themselves, Mr. Chairman? We need this clarified. Lastly,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, lastly, I was feeling, okay, but I can proceed. Myself, Mr. Chairman, on the 23rd of December, myself, I was attacked in my own constituency by the Antright police from the headquarters here in Naguru, because, Mr. Chairman, they came in troop carriers, those long vehicles.
They attacked you
in my
your
constituency, yes. And I was feeling sad because I'm not seeing the director of operations who ought to be here. But now that we have the minister and the IGP, probably they can clarify. I was in Remiaga County. There was a meeting where I went as an area member of parliament. But even without being an area member of parliament, by our setup under the local government, every Ugandan is a councillor, at least at the village. So what Remiaga LC1, where I'm born, where I reside, where I got registered. But then, unknown to me, the FFU, the Field Force Unit from Naguru, were transported overnight. And they laid in ambush. Mr. Chairman, I have photos here. I was assaulted. My vehicle, the windscreen were shattered. They shot bullets and tear gas. And I inquired why the DPC was doing that. And I inquired the officer who was on the ground. He said, no, he has been cleared by the RPC. The RPC, we tried to get in touch with him, and he said, no, he had instructions from Naguru, from the director operations, the number 3 police officer in seniority. Since then, Mr. Chairman, this is the matter that needed to be clarified as to why Mr. Frank Mwesigwa, the director of operations, could do this. We are going into an election period. What prompted him to deploy from Naguru, Masaka region, and the Sembabli to Remiaga playground? Mr. Chairman, it is unfortunate, but his young brother, Ezra Tugume, was the one conducting and carrying out the orders of his big brother, Frank Mwesigwa. And they were being put to the DPC, to Azaje. Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, you all come from the same place, from Nyabushozi. And I was reading the Constitution. The Constitution is clear. Article 211. The Uganda Police Force shall be nationalistic, patriotic, professional, disciplined, competent, and productive, and its members shall be citizens of Uganda of good character. Why did we arrive at that, Mr. Chairman? Frank Tugume, the Director Operations, Mwesigwa, I beg your pardon, is a person who is known to me, together with his brother. Can't we as police have these, so that you are nationalistic in nature? I don't want to speak about people who are not here. I had a lot to speak about them if they were here. Ezra Tugume, the younger brother, biological younger brother. Is the police turning into a family affair such that we have nowhere we can complain? And this came to your attention and nobody raised a finger about it. And Mr. Chairman, lastly, the police must be national in character. You don't get people of the same constituency. Actually, they're your constituency, all of them, Mr. Chairman. You don't get them and you put them in Remiaga, in Sembabule, in Masaka region, and even at the top level here as the Director of Operations. I was hurt, Mr. Chairman, and now since that they're here, I want them to clarify.
Thank you.
What prompted the deployment and the attacking of the area MP? In fact, I asked them, has this meeting, which you say I can't go to, has it been cleared by police? The OC down said the RPC, that is Ezra Tugume, has cleared it. And when we asked the RPC, he said, no, the Director, Operations, and there was no evidence to that effect. Mr. Chairman, if we personalize the instruments of coercion, if we turn them into family issues, if we know the circumstances under which this very Ezra left Busia as the DPC.
No, I think now your point of
I want to go there, Mr. Chairman.
Please.
I'll raise it at another point in time. Incidentally, the Director of Operations, who usually accompanies the IGP, is not here. I'm saddened that he's not here. I wanted to look him in the eye. Together with his brother, he's also not here. Twazaji is not here.
Why don't
So
you
I'm just
address
boxing
them as
the,
RPC and Direct Operations? Because now, in my view, they are carrying out all that because they are responsible for what they are doing. So when you now personalize it to names and villages, you yourself, you actually dilute your point. The issue is that Honorable Sochikubo was attacked in his constituency, which is not good.
From the face
And
of it.
we want the IG, we want the minister to talk about it.
Mr. Chairman, from the face of it.
The IGP.
From
so
the
give
face
him a
of-
chance to respond.
Yes, but from the face of it, yes, you could be right. But I'm dissecting to you so that you see that the decisions taken could not have been supported by the police. And why are they doing that? Is the question. This is why I'm doing this. There is no professional police officer who could do that if they were not seated in their sitting room and discussing the affairs of Uganda.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I remember when I took over as a steward of the Department of Internal Affairs, I called the IGP and I told him that under no circumstances, should a Ugandan be executed or killed when he is in handcuffs or unarmed. I regret what you said, that Ugandans were gunned down on mere suspicion. This is contrary to my policy directive, and I've called for a report of the incident. And those responsible will be held to account in accordance with the laws of Uganda. Secondly, it's unfortunate that the police should interfere with the activities of a member of parliament duly elected. That's not the job of the police. Stopping a member of parliament from addressing his or her constituents is the job of the constituents who elected him or her in the first place. A member of parliament does not have to ask for permission to carry out his or her activities in their jurisdiction. So, at a certain stage, I will ask the Inspector General of Police to explain what happened. This is contrary to our directives, both the President and myself. We don't condone this. We won't tolerate it. I thank you.
I will assess the incidents happened. As Parliament and as we go out, we want to assure Ugandans that their lives are in good hands. We needed action now. We know you are waiting for the report, but it could be endless. Police reports sometimes get endless.
No, I have faith in my Inspector General of Police. I have faith in Mr. Byakagawa.
I think all people responsible are here.
I have faith in Mr. Byakagawa, not only to bring the report, but also to handle the police.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Minister, yes?
In your ruling, that you are going to give us an opportunity as members to raise some issues before the minister would come, but when I looked at him, it seemed that he was ready now to proceed on his main presentation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I start with the issue before us, and I want to commend the minister for coming out so clearly today and even before to condemn actions that are not proper within the police. You saw him strongly clarifying that no Ugandan should be executed. But when he resorted to the issue of the report, Mr. Chairman, I wasn't satisfied. Because if somebody commits an offense, you don't go to require for reports. You do arrests. And I don't think that policemen are above the law. If there was an execution of Ugandans, as we also, I think even before you inquire for a report administratively, there ought to be action through arrests. Who were the people responsible for this particular operation? That Ugandans were executed in summarily, like we also. Who has been arrested so far? Should we really, Mr. Chairman, wait for a report administratively? And it seems that at times, the requirement or the promise for reports is just for buying of time. I don't want to believe that my colleague, who substantially holds the ministry, is just playing with our emotions and talking tough, saying that I've required for a report. That's not enough. We want action in terms of arresting people who are suspected now to have killed Ugandans outside their mandate, beyond what the mandate they hold provides for. That is it, Mr. Chairman. And recalling that on the 23rd of December 2024, one Semwaka Julius was shot dead near Nakasero State Lodge. And we were told that the culprit, Bahati, this is somebody who is said to have failed to give way. They were in a traffic jam and the police were escorting somebody and they wanted these people to clear away. And in the process, Bahati was killed. The last I heard about it was that Bahati was on the run. But he wasn't alone. This was a group of people. We don't know who exactly shot Semwaka. I want to know what is happening even with that particular matter. Mr. Chairman, I also want to talk about the issue of gangs that are building up in the country. I don't know if press has now decided that security should be privatized.
Honorable Betty Bachireke Namboze.
Yes.
That matter that you are going to raise comes substantively in the report, budget framework paper. It would be prudent that the minister present when we reach those matters, you come in for points of clarification. Otherwise, we are going to...
Yeah, but Mr. Chairman, last night in my constituency, her Lordship, Tivulia Margaret, previously deployed a group of both private security guards and a gang of men. I understand that they came from Iganga to Mukono. As it is nowadays, that people who have land and they want to do evictions raise their own armies. They go down the villages, deploy, terrorize the people, but you see police giving them a cover. Police is in the background giving them a cover.
Giving who cover?
These goons, as they demolish and cut down plantations, demolish houses. It happened yesterday in a village called Ibudugala. I personally called the OC of Goma Division, and I gave him even the number of the people who are calling from the villages seeking for the intervention of police. Eventually, he called them back and said, and maybe it is true, that he did not have fuel to send the patrol van down the village. But eventually, when they went...
And that's exactly what the budget framework paper...
And Mr. Chairman, what I want to talk about is this issue of people raising up armies to guard the land, to guard and even do evictions. And they are watched by police. It has been 3 months now. I've been going to police talking about this issue, which is being, this particular thing that is being done by her Lordship. In fact, a whole judge terrorizing a village, taking over graveyards. I have pictures here. I will show them to the minister. So what should the people do? You all remember what happened with this Sobi. It is now a common knowledge that if you are in Uganda and you have land, there is a group of people you can hire to come and protect your land. And police is aware, Mr. Chairman, about this. So I want to know exactly what are we supposed to do in such situations. What should my people, for example, in Mukono do, Mr. Chairman?
Thank you.
And I don't know what your guidance is, but I thought we had more issues to raise.
No, because you Honorable Bachireke, you are a very senior legislator here. You know quite well, yes. Please take a seat. You know quite well that after the minister's presentation, I shall invite specific votes to make presentations. The matters you are raising could adequately be handled therein, or if you are seeking clarification, you come along. But addressing it before makes it difficult for the minister and all others to flow. So let's restrict ourselves to the minister's presentation and the budget framework paper. I can tell you, whatever you're raising comes in there. So please, let's give the minister...
Much obliged.
Thank you, thank you. Honorable
Bachireke for giving way. Honorable Bachireke, I would like to assure you that all your concerns will be addressed. And like I said before, I have faith in the new Inspector General of Police. He is capable so far, in as much as he is handling an institution that has had a history of a bit of problems. As for the issue of this gentleman who was gunned down below State House, I have tasked them to find out what exactly
below
happened.
State House or Kampala Club?
Kampala Club, yeah.
So where
Kampala
does...
Club. I have tasked them to find out what exactly happened and where the culprit is. Honorable Bachireke, we have not carried out arrests because 2 mistakes don't make right. I don't want to rush into asking the police to arrest before they have investigated, because it's me who said, don't arrest unless you are sure your case is going to stand the test of court.
While that is very
Don't
correct,
arrest
Honorable Minister.
until you are sure your case will stand the test of court.
Correct.
So that you don't have to put in prison, people in prison unnecessarily.
Her concern is how long would the investigations take?
Now, Mr. Chairman, how long is forever? I don't know. How long will the investigations take? It depends on the competence and the resources available to the police, and how soon they will have a satisfactory course of information that will stand the test of court. I don't want them to hold people in jail, because I have people in prison on remand who on conviction would have served 7 months. On conviction would have served 7 months, but they have been in remand for 3 years in prison. And when you ask them to say, okay, did you commit it? No, I don't want to convict myself because I'm innocent. They can't even take a plea bargain because they are innocent. Because if you take a plea bargain in order to get yourself out of jail, then you convict yourself. So it's a chicken and egg situation. So I agree with the police, especially the CID, that they should not arrest anybody until they are satisfied their case will stand. The probability for the case to stand the test of court is more than 50%. I thought that would help.
Thank you.
You know, both sides. So, Honorable Chireke, we are going to do justice because those people you are complaining about are already dead. Rushing to arrest will not bring them back to life. No, that's what I'm saying. Please,
Honorable Sechiko, you had a chance. Let the minister
now,
conclude.
Sechiko, when you were talking,
And you
I
know our
listened.
rules.
You are
Yes.
right.
I was listening.
But you see, there are those who are dead,
I have been with you.
and we speak for them. We speak for
But
them. fairly.
I'm minister for internal affairs for them also.
Then lead that point.
Yes. No, I'm saying, what I'm trying to tell you is that me rushing to make mistakes may actually do them injustice. By arresting people, putting them in jail, helping the culprits to flee, may actually do the dead injustice. But by being patient, doing thorough, investigation, and being convinced that the people we are going to arrest are the real culprits who will be punished by court, is doing the dead justice. Yeah, I don't want to rush into, that's my style of work. Please, Margaret,
Honorable Minister, can you go on?
that's my style of
Chairman.
work, and I'm not going.
Mr. Chairman, I don't want to make this a contest between me and the minister, but one thing, arresting is one thing, but opening up a case, a file against the people who are suspected to have executed Ugandans is another thing. Yes, you might not arrest, but has a case been opened up against these people and now they are suspects, and who are they?
But the Inspector General of Police is coming to talk about
Clarify
that.
on that. Yeah.
That's why I came with him.
Thank you. I think that's clearer.
Honorable Chereke, the Inspector General of Police
Is here.
He is going to talk about what has happened since then. I'm not the Inspector General of Police, I'm Minister. I'm not an arresting officer. Give me my respect.
Honorable Sechiko, give him a chance. Then you have
Sechiko.
points for clarification.
Mr. Chairman, it's only to lay.
Laying
I'm laying the evidence of the FFU
in your constituency.
in my constituency.
He's yet to address that.
Yes,
right?
but I'm laying since I
Please
made the
lay.
submission.
Please lay.
I beg to lay, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you.
When God created Sechikubo, when it was on
Sechiko
Friday,
was created on Sunday.
on Sunday. Thank you for your diligence and honesty.